Alvin Aguilar of URCC. Alvin,
Okay. Well, what to expect from the URCC is we have so many good partners now. We have the first and the largest integrated resorts world as our partner now. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Look at the support they give, and we'll give them the crowd. They give us the support, and exposure works for both of us. And I'm very, very happy with this partnership with them. For the URCC, we're gonna have, like I said, we only get the best Filipino fighters. If you're not with the URCC, I mean, that means we didn't sign you. Well, it's not a knock on the other fighters. It just means that we just didn't feel that you were right for it, because what we did is we started the AFC. If you're familiar with the AFC, the Academy Fighting Championship, with Ronald Catunao, the Catunao brothers. So we have about 40 teams. That's nationwide. We make them fight, and after that, whoever becomes the best there, that's who we get to the URCC. When they get to the URCC, you have to work your way up, and then that's when we go. Now, the thing we used to do before was we tie up with other promotions. We also did have, we brought OneFC here. We know we had a tie up with them before, if you're asking, but then it didn't work out for our fighters. I should never have let them there, because I never knew that these people are two-faced. What do you call that? They say they'll do this, do this, but nothing happens. And the UFC was interested in Edward. The UFC was interested in Eric. And then when they found out, they basically cock-blocked them, pretended that they were under contract with them, but they were under contract with me. So it was really, really a mess. And after that, just so they weren't, people would lose interest. Well, the UFC would lose interest in them. They were overmatched, and you saw what happened to Edward. So it's really, really a terrible situation. And I learned my lesson. We all make mistakes, and this is a mistake I will never make. So there.
Okay. Now, with this statement, and it's possible, of course, Victor and OneFC guys would hear about this.
Yeah, fuck them.
Okay
yeah, fuck them.
Basically declaring war with them.
No, I wouldn't go. I mean, he knows how I feel. I mean, I'm not gonna mince words. And what's he gonna do to me anyway?
Now, with the emergence of MMA, and then there's a lot of local MMA, and we've covered some of them, most amateur. Are you looking forward to, or are you still thinking of having a partnership somewhere else aside from UFC?
Definitely. I'm always after like this. Because what I did actually right now, just so you know, is before I used to be close-minded and say, okay, my fighters can only fight for me.
Yes.
Okay, but then I didn't have enough events, and it wouldn't be fair to the fighters if I tied them down for 3 fights and then they go on for 2-3 years, and what would happen? I'm trying to develop people here. So what I do is all of our fighters, even if they're signed with me, they can fight for other leagues as long as they are the leagues that I trust. Okay, if you notice, like Drex Zamboanga, CJ,
yes.
they came from other, and they're still fighting in other leagues. Because I want them to stay active. I don't want them just to stay.
Aren't you worried about your fighters fighting in other leagues, especially just amateur? Some of them are pro-am, they're getting hurt.
No, I want them. Well, I told them that from now on you have to find the pros, because this pro-am thing is a bit sketchy also for me. Because this, that means anybody can get a pro-am license then. I mean, that's not safe. So I let them fight all the time. I want them to get exposure. Very, very good exposure for everybody. So there. I mean, when our fighters get that and they do well, I mean, sky's the limit. Once this happens, when the UFC calls, go. Because that's
that open. If someone's interested.
Of course. If it's UFC, go.
Okay.
I mean, isn't that the goal?
Yes.
For now, that is the goal. I mean, if I could give them better opportunities in the UFC, then I'd say no way.
Okay.
But I cannot. And right now, UFC is the #1, and we want somebody to be in the global stage. Until the URCC gets on the global stage, that's the only time we can say wait first. Okay. But now, they want to get paid. They want to do well. They want to bring even bigger honor to the country. Then they have to be in the UFC.
If you don't mind, if you can name a few local promoter amateur that you think would be a potential event or amateur event here, like one of the partner, like you're recognizing what they're doing in the sports, like because I've covered have you heard of UGB or Balikatan, and the Glory, then the
Of course, I know Balikatan, and of course I know Henry Kobayashi very, very well. Yeah, really believe in what he's doing. The guy's awesome. See, Kobayashi and me go way back.
Yes, sir.
So way back.
So I heard he was the first matchmaker?
Yes, of the URCC. We go way back. He's always been
on his event?
Of course. He's always been a good friend and a brother. He's always been loyal to me, and I've always been loyal to him. Even if sometimes we lose contact, I ask for his help, he asks for mine. I'm always there. He's always there as well.
What can you say about some emerging MMA local event that's turning pro, trying to compete against with the same level?
That's good. I mean, they're just because people think that if I watch, let's say for example, if they watch PXC or they watch OneFC, they won't watch URCC or something like that. I mean, it doesn't work like that. Before, because people kept getting in my head saying, you gotta fight these guys, you gotta do this. I grew up a street fighter, so I'd be like, yeah, I should fight him. No, that's the wrong thing to do. PXC, for example, I met Calvo. Good person, very very good person. It's just unfortunate a lot of people got in between and were saying this. When I finally got to meet him, nicest guy ever. When I get along with him, he gets along with me. He invited me to his last event. I wasn't able to go, but then I'm going to invite him, and the next event he has, I will go. Okay, but like I'm saying, more professional. That's good. That's more opportunities for our guys, so they can keep busy. But when I need them, we gotta, they gotta step up and they gotta fight for us when I need them. But aside from that, they can go. I just don't want anybody with OneFC.
Okay. 11 events.
No good.
You mentioned 11 events. So it's February. How do you plan to do 11 events for this year?
Okay, When our other events are going to be the URCC fight nights. Okay, so our fight nights we're going to be having 5 fights in one night. So it's going to be in a smaller scale, not as big as the ones we're going to be doing. Okay, then we're going to have provincial events, and we're going to have several events here as well.
So it's more of a UFC type of model. You have a fight night and you have a main.
Yes.
So how many from the 11 are going to be like this, and how many are?
Well, from the 11, we're going to have 3 of these.
3 of these.
Okay. And we're going to have provincial events. Aside from the provincial events, like I said, we'll have the fight nights. We'll have 3 provincial events also.
Okay. Now you mentioned as well that if a UFC approach your fighters, they're welcome to go.
Yes.
Because it's a better opportunity.
Yes.
So how do you plan to make URCC the same level as maybe kind of a UFC or an international level, so they don't have to go anywhere, so they can stay at URCC?
Okay.
What's your plan?
Okay. Our first, what we'll do is we have to expand, abroad. That's number one. I'm already in talks with people from different countries, so we're good to go. We're actually going to be aired in 120 countries.
No.
So we have a beautiful deal with Knockout Productions, Knockout pay-per-view as well. We're going to be aired in 120 countries. Can you imagine that? The URCC. And aside from that, we're going to be aired in 5 channels in China.
Oh, nice.
So
Very nice. It's a very good market.
yes, awesome market. So, and I cannot announce our TV deal yet, but it's going to be a very, very impressive TV deal also as well with one of our top networks here in the Philippines.
Well, it looks like it's a very good partnership, and you have a good
Yes.
future. Are you open to other partnerships? Let's say someone, an investor or fund, wanted to.
Yeah,
partner with
definitely.
your sponsor?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have awesome sponsors that help us. I mean, there are a lot of people who have offered to help fund it. Okay, it's very, very easy to get a financier. Okay, because everybody would just do this and then. What I want when I have a financier, when people do want to invest, is they have to bring something to the table. So what can you do to help URCC grow even bigger? Because if it's just money, there's so many people who are just throwing money at us and saying, "Can I invest? Can I invest?" I want somebody who can, bring something to the table.
Last 2 questions. How do you see URCC? What is your ultimate goal in URCC in a few years? How do you see URCC?
Okay. Well, I always wanted, monthly events here, and then pretty soon monthly events all over Southeast Asia. Okay, and then have all of our guys always competing, always busy, to the point that people don't even know what event is which because there's just so many. So now our fighters get active. There's an industry behind it. There's more people getting involved, and if that's the case, I mean, these fights can have a real career.
Lastly, could you please invite us to watch your next event?
Okay. I'd like to invite everybody to watch URCC 27 Rebellion. Okay, it's going to be in April 23 and the Marriott Grand Ballroom here in Resorts World. I'll see you guys there. Only the best action that only URCC can give you guys. Bakbaka na!